I'm introducing this episode, 4 Signs You Could Be Betraying Your Dreams, a little bit differently today. I've heard from lots of you that you just don't know how or can't get past that stuck feeling when it comes to showing up for your dreams. You feel a sense of FOMO with the new year around the corner, dreading watching everyone else ramp up and start crushing their dreams and goals. I've heard you. You're tired, you're mentally and emotionally depleted, and you just don't know what's wrong or how to get unstuck. So the first step is to identify where these feelings are coming from, to create some self-awareness so that you can do something about it. Sometimes we have to talk about the things that aren't all unicorns and rainbows when it comes to our dreams. If you can relate to any of the 4 signs that we talk about today, please talk to a friend, a partner, or even a therapist to support you. These 4 signs will not magically disappear just because it's a new year. Please take care of you. This is your little nudge to take just one small step today to loosen the grip of feeling stuck. You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence. Hey there, dreamers. Welcome back to another episode of the Distracted Dreamer podcast. I'm your host, Carlene, and today we're talking about 4 signs that could be telling you that you're losing sight of your dreams. I have felt all of these at multiple times in my life, and I had no idea they were signs about my dreams. Well, friend, you don't have to wonder like I did. As we talk about these signs today, pay attention to what pops up for you. You may discover some other signs, because these 4 signs aren't meant to say that these are the only signs, but they are the most common ones that I've seen people experience over the last decade. So if you feel like your dreams are slowly slipping away, then this episode is for you. You know, sometimes we have that nagging feeling in life, like, is this it? Is this all there is? Maybe you feel like you're on autopilot. You drive to work, bring your lunch, sit in a cubicle, chat with coworkers, do some tasks, go home, have dinner, repeat. Now, this isn't to diminish any job. There's real nobility in all work. But what I care about for you is whether you're pursuing the right work for you. Nothing compares to pursuing your dreams and focusing on things that fuels your energy and gives you that deep sense of fulfillment. Here are some signs I felt back when I was in my corporate career, knowing deep down I felt so pulled to do something else. These signs kept showing up, and I've recognized them in others I've worked with over the years. And who knows, they might apply to you too. All right, let's dive in. Sign number 1 is having that feeling of general sluggishness. It's more than just being tired. You may have heard the saying, you're not tired, you're uninspired. Think back to a time when you felt truly excited about something, even if it was small. Remember how you felt a rush of energy and suddenly you were wide awake? True energy doesn't come from just sleeping well. It comes from the sense of doing something that matters to you. But if you wake up every day feeling like you're dragging yourself through the motions, and the idea of work doesn't give you even a tiny spark, this could be a sign. Your body and mind are telling you, this isn't it. Of course, no career or project is going to be thrilling all the time. There are tasks that are challenging or mundane for everybody. But overall, if the things that light you up are far outweighed by things that drain you, it may be time to rethink. Sluggishness might be your body's way of saying, hey, look elsewhere. Think about it. Have you ever felt really sluggish and then you get some exciting news and all of a sudden you're awake and invigorated? I'm not saying what I do is all unicorns and rainbows. Everything comes with some frustration, some challenges. But I tell you, the work that I do, I'm invigorated. I'm energized. But not all day, not every day. There are those days I have to do things in my business that I don't really love. But doesn't everybody? The secret is for you to have fewer of those things and more things that light you up. So that day-to-day sluggishness is your body's way of telling you you need to redirect. When you feel sluggish, it's easy to dismiss it as simple tiredness. But often, this is more about a lack of motivation or inspiration than physical exhaustion. Sluggishness can prevent you from engaging with your dreams. It zaps the energy you need to take even the smallest steps. And over time, this low energy state, it creates a sense of detachment, making it harder to even picture or believe in your dreams. So if you're frequently sluggish, ask yourself, is this a sign that something in your daily life is out of alignment with what truly excites and drives you? We all know dreams require energy and enthusiasm and hope. And sluggishness is a red flag from your body and mind that something is missing, potentially pointing to a need for some deeper purpose or inspiration in your life. Reconnecting with your dreams can provide that needed spark to break out of that sluggishness and fuel you with renewed excitement. Okay, sign number 2 that you could be losing sight of your dreams is when you start to rely on unhealthy habits to get through the day or the week. Now, this isn't about being perfect. I'm certainly not. But what I will tell you is that when we kind of just get through the day, get through the week, we tell ourselves we deserve something for pushing through. Do you hear yourself saying, oh, I deserve a drink. Oh, I deserve to smoke. Oh, I deserve that brownie. Maybe I'll eat the whole pan. I deserve to play video games for 6 hours. I deserve. When you're doing this because it's the only way you can decompress or the only way you add some joy, or you think you've earned it because you just made it through another week, this is very different than going out and treating yourself. It's human to need ways to decompress or find joy. But when you find yourself constantly saying, I deserve this, whether it's a drink, junk food, binge watching, it's worth taking a step back. Is this habit a genuine treat, or is it a form of escape? Okay, for instance, maybe at the end of the week, you find yourself reaching for things you know aren't good for you. I once worked with a client, she was an attorney, who initially came to me to control her impulsive spending. Then in one of our sessions, she said, I resent the money I'm making because I hate being an attorney. I hate the long hours. So don't I deserve all of this stuff? Wow, what an epiphany. She felt trapped in her work, and the spending was a way of deserving something good. It's a huge red flag if you're using these habits to compensate for how your job or your life makes you feel. If you stop and ask yourself, why are you doing something, and really look under the hood, you might find you are doing it from a place of, I deserve this. Okay, when you turn to unhealthy habits, it's often because there's a void that isn't being filled. And we tend to lean on these habits as a quick fix, whether that's for stress relief or a reward for getting through another day. But these patterns, they can mask the deeper issue, like you're not engaging with the things that light you up. This reliance on unhealthy habits can distract you from the commitment, clarity, and energy that pursuing your dreams demands. Over time, these habits may even distance you further from what truly matters to you. Dreams need nurturing, and when we're stuck in cycles of escapism or unhealthy habits, it's like putting our dreams on pause. Recognizing the I deserve this mindset can help you find healthier ways to reward yourself. Ways that fuel your dreams rather than delay them. Try asking, what could I do instead that brings me closer to the life I want to build? So the first sign you're betraying your dreams could be that you're feeling sluggish. And the second could be that you're engaging in some unhealthy habits. The third sign is feeling an ominous sense of time slipping by. Moments like a birthday or a new year are supposed to feel full of possibility, but sometimes they can feel heavy instead. Can you relate to that? Do you find yourself thinking, another year has gone by and nothing's changed? It's like a shadow creeping up, this sense that time is passing and you're not where you want to be. Imagine that it's your birthday, but instead of feeling excited, you feel weighed down. A friend once shared with me that her birthday was a painful reminder of how she was drifting further from the life she once pictured. If you feel this way when milestones come up, it could be a sign that something needs to shift. Deep down, you may know there's something more you're meant to do, and these moments remind you of that gap between where you are and where you want to be. Feeling the weight of time passing can be a powerful and, yes, unsettling indicator that something isn't right. So when birthdays, anniversaries, or even New Year's feels heavy, it's a sign that you're aware of unfulfilled potential. This ominous feeling often reflects regret or fear of not achieving what you set out to do. And this awareness of time, it can be both a source of dread that we're actually going to talk about next, and it's a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the clock is ticking on your dreams, but it's also a prompt to take action, however small. So rather than letting the feeling of time passing weigh you down, use it as a catalyst to make each day count. This reminder, it can motivate you to take your dreams off the shelf and give them the attention they deserve. Remember, even the smallest step counts towards that life that you want to create for yourself. So, the first sign you may be losing sight of your dreams could be that you're feeling sluggish, and second could be that you're engaging in some unhealthy habits, and the third is that you have an ominous sense of time passing. Number 4 is you dread your day. Let's be honest. There's a difference between not looking forward to a particular task and genuinely dreading your entire day. Dread is a deep, heavy feeling that drains you before the day even begins. It's not just about dislike. It's about a sense of resistance that goes down to your core. When you wake up every morning with that feeling of, I don't want to do this, it's a major signal from your mind and body that something is out of alignment. Let's talk for a second about what dread really is. Dread isn't just a reaction to something that's happening now. It's an intense, unpleasant feeling in anticipation of something we believe will be uncomfortable, overwhelming, or painful in the future. So, dread is an emotional state that combines elements of fear, anxiety, and sometimes hopelessness. According to Brené Brown, author of Atlas of the Heart, she talks about how immediate fear occurs in response to a present threat, and dread happens when we anticipate future discomfort or pain. Yes, you guessed it, I'm going to the neuroscience on dread because it will help you understand how and why this is showing up for you. Okay, stay with me. Our brain's limbic system, specifically the amygdala, which processes emotions like fear and anxiety, it plays a key role in dread. When we dread something, our amygdala becomes activated. It prepares us for a fight, flight, or freeze response, even though no immediate threat exists. And this is why dread can feel like anxiety, but with an added sense of hopelessness or even resignation. Now, research shows that dread can activate many regions of the brain associated with processing pain. And these parts of the brain are responsible for how we perceive and respond to physical and emotional discomfort or pain. When we dread something, our brain treats the anticipated event as a source of potential pain that leads us to feel stress and physical discomfort. And studies suggest that for some people, the dread of an unpleasant event can be more intense than the event itself, which is why dread is often so mentally draining. Okay, let's talk about stress as it relates to dread. When we experience dread regularly, such as dreading work every day, it can lead to a state of chronic stress. Our bodies respond to dread by releasing cortisol and adrenaline, hormones meant to help us handle that stress. But over time, chronic exposure to those hormones, they harm our physical and mental health. They lead to symptoms like fatigue, mood swings, weight gain, a weakened immune response, and even burnout. So this persistent low-grade stress, it can make us feel like we're emotionally stuck, or maybe we even feel numb. All of this contributes to a cycle of avoidance and procrastination, which is not good news for our dreams. So I get this question a lot. What does dread have to do with depression? Well, dread and depression can often overlap, especially when dread becomes chronic. Feeling dread every day can leave you feeling powerless, which is a key characteristic of depression. When stress persists, our brain's stress and pain circuits reinforces that dread. And this often deepens feelings of hopelessness. So if you dread your days for an extended time, you may also begin to experience symptoms of depression, like low energy and lack of motivation. But it's not all bad news. You can break free from dread thanks to neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to form new neural pathways, which means you can work to overcome feelings of dread. So there's practices out there like cognitive reframing and mindfulness and self-reflection that help interrupt the cycle of that anticipatory fear of dread by training the brain to respond differently. Cognitive reframing, for example, it helps us reinterpret the dreaded activity as less threatening, while mindfulness helps us stay present rather than mentally jumping to a negative future. If dread feels overwhelming or persistent for you, or it's evolved to depression, I can't encourage you enough to work with a therapist. Therapists are trained to help you process emotions and explore the underlying causes of your dread. And they give you tools to manage it. In therapy, techniques like cognitive behavior therapy, also known as CBT, can be incredibly effective for helping you reframe dread. If you feel dread often, consider giving yourself the support of a professional who can guide you through it. Therapy is an investment in your well-being, and you deserve to feel lighter, clearer, and more hopeful. So how do you know if it's dread? Here are some signs. Physically, dread can manifest as fatigue, muscle tension, headaches, and you may even have digestive issues. Mentally, it clouds your outlook. It makes everything feel like an uphill battle. You might find it hard to concentrate. You might be really, really irritable, or even start withdrawing from things that once made you happy. Think of dread like this. It's the emotional alarm telling you that something is very wrong. Dread is your mind and body's way of telling you, this is not right for you. It's not just a mood or a passing feeling. It's a signal that you're forcing yourself to stay in a place or a situation that's draining your energy instead of fueling it. Chronic dread, it drains your joy, it drains your creativity, it drains your courage, all things you need to pursue your dreams. It's an alarm going off telling you that changes are needed to bring more alignment, purpose, and fulfillment into your life. Now, dread is the ultimate indicator that you're operating outside your zone of values, passion, and purpose. Dreams should spark excitement and motivation, not dread. If you're feeling dread, it's time to take a closer look at what's pulling you away from your dreams and what steps you can take to bring that sense of purpose back. Listen to this signal. Use it as fuel to start making small but meaningful shifts towards what lights you up. It might be time to step back and look at what's causing it. Are there changes you can make to lessen this feeling, like delegating certain tasks or setting some boundaries? Or does it mean something bigger, like a need for a career change? Okay, let's bring all of this home. That was a lot of information. So, if you're experiencing any of the four signs of losing sight of your dreams, of feeling sluggish, engaging in unhealthy habits, or if you have an ominous sense of time passing, or you are dreading your days, you have more options than you think. Start with this empowering thought. Here's the thought. You always have a choice, even if it's just a small one. You might not be able to overhaul your life overnight, but you can start by taking one tiny action. What if, just for today, you didn't accept things as they are? What if you spent 10 minutes brainstorming a different path, a path that excites you, even if it's really unrealistic? What if this small action, a simple shift in thought, could start a ripple effect that ultimately changes your life? I get it. Change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. But so is stagnation. The difference? The discomfort from growth, it brings you closer to a life that's meaningful and full of possibility. While staying stagnant, it only keeps you in the same spot year after year. Okay, I'm going to give you a little tough love. So I hope you're okay with that, because here it is. The tough love is this. No one is coming for you. No one else is responsible for your life. If you're waiting for a rescue, an employer, a partner, a circumstance to change, it's time to shift that thinking. Waiting for the world to change is a sure way to remain where you are. Your dreams are your responsibility. No one else is going to chase them. They are yours. You are the only one who can decide whether you want a life of just getting by or a life that lights you up. Choose something, anything that brings energy back into your day, even if it's as small as learning a new skill or reading a book or meeting people. Once you take responsibility for your direction, the world around you begins to shift because you're moving with purpose, not with resignation. All right, are you up for a challenge? Did I hear you say heck yes? Well, that's fabulous. So your challenge is to do something different. That's it. That's the challenge. So if you could relate to feeling sluggish, get off the couch and go borrow energy from someone else. I know it sounds weird, but it actually works. Spend time with people or just one person that has good energy. You know those people. They get excited about what's ahead for them. They enjoy being in the here and now. They have good energy. You know who they are. Go spend some time with them. Borrow some of that good energy. It's okay. When you borrow that energy, you will see how it changes that sluggishness that you're feeling. Now, if you could relate to the indulging in bad habits because you've got that mindset of, but I deserve it. I had a hard day. I had a hard week. I deserve this indulgence. I'm here to tell you that you deserve better. Did you hear that? You deserve better. What's something different you can do? Don't have the glass of wine. Mix up a nice mocktail for yourself. Or don't eat all the brownies. Instead, grab a piece of fruit. Or have a nice relaxing cup of hot tea with some honey in it. Or don't play video games all day. Instead, get out of the house. Go be with people IRL, in real life. Playing video games with others, it's not the same kind of interaction. Go to a coffee shop and read a book. Make eye contact with someone. Start a conversation, no matter how brief. Go to the gym. There's lots of people there. And getting in some movement, it's so important for both your physical and your mental health. Now, if you could relate to time passing by and feeling like you're in the exact same spot you were a year ago, set a small, doable goal that you know you'll achieve. You need to be reminded that you can do something different, that you are capable of doing something that brings you joy or that you just want to do it. So maybe your goal is to take a walk 5 out of the next 7 days. Maybe it's reading for 15 minutes 3 out of the next 7 days. And if you could relate to feeling dread, plan something in the very near future that will bring you joy. Maybe it's a night out with a friend. Maybe it's a weekend away or trying that new restaurant. Remind your brain and your heart what it feels like to look forward to something. Or maybe you realize it's time to get some support from a therapist. Make that call. There's more out there for you. You may not know exactly what it looks like, and that's okay. But if you feel that tug for something more, that's your inner compass trying to guide you. Don't ignore it. And please, as always, thank you for sharing this podcast with your family and friends. We all need encouragement to focus on our dreams. Thanks so much for tuning in, and your dreams are waiting for you. Your time is now, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.